Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Personal Transformation with Olumuyiwa Oludayo. It's a great privilege to have you all join in tonight, or good in the afternoon, whichever part of the world you're joining from. Some people are in the evening, some other people just cross into the afternoon. Some are possibly in the dead of the night. I want to thank you all for registering to be part of this event. And thank you for joining in. We had, well over 60 people registered to join, hoping that they will come around soon. But if not, well, for those who will call for the recording, I'll be able to share with them. I want to say a very big thank you to you, to all my friends who are here, to those who just are meeting me for the first time. Welcome. My name is Olumuyiwa Oludayo. I'm an organizational management consultant. My responsibility in life is to see how much I can add value to people, groups, institutions, communities, and societies, as God will give me the grace to do so. I try to work across 4 verticals of my life: everything people, organization, learning and development, and strategy. Hoping that this session today will add value to you. I'll give you a little bit of insight as to how we started personal transformation seminars. A few years ago, I came to the understanding that I was seeing changes in my life. I realized that things were changing. But I really could not put my hand on what was changing. I knew something had changed, but I could not articulate it. And then I began a self-appraisal process, a journey to identifying what changed and why it changed and what led to the changes. And all of that became something I had to document because of a day like this. Talking about something that happened to me about a decade ago, where I was trying to just identify, why did I experience this kind of change? And why did I have this significant change happening in my life? I'm hoping that as we proceed on this journey, you would be able to, get to that point where you can have answers to your questions, where you will get clarity to the places where you are seemingly confused or uncertain. I'm hoping that as we proceed this evening, you will also find a springboard to be able to reach the next heights of your life. So on this note, I'd like to welcome you all. But we'll try to, because we are still few here, and I may be able to take 1 or 2 names, I'll try to do some introductions. I'd like you to please do a bit of introductions. If you're not shy, I'll call you to please do a bit of introductions. Deji, are you able to introduce yourself to us?
Yes, you mentioned my name.
Yeah.
Introductions. All right, my name is Deji. I'm a management consultant. I do consult in government and private institutions based outside of Nigeria. My interests, my goal as Dr. has said, also I'm always interested in adding value to people and organizations. Yep.
Deji, where are you joining from?
From the United States, Maryland, USA.
Maryland, USA, not Maryland, Lagos.
Yes, Maryland.
All right, thank you for joining. Gloria, can we have you?
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Doc. Thank you so much for this opportunity. My name is Olumuyiwa Gloria. I'm in human resources. I think that is it. What else should I talk
Where are you joining from?
Well, I'm joining from Lagos, Nigeria.
Okay, Thank you, Nigerian.
Mhm.
Hello, Jennifer. Your name, what you do. Just tell us your occupation. I'm in HR, I'm in marketing, I'm in insurance, and then where you are joining us from. Jennifer Asiwa, it's your turn.
Hi, good evening, everybody. My name is Jennifer Asiwa. I'm joining from Abuja. I'm a pension administrator. That's ARM pension, precisely. And then, thank you.
Yes, we're glad to have you as well. We're glad to have you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Josh, I see you. You're next. Josh, you're next. Can you unmute yourself? Okay, you can't. And Kem, are you able to go next? And Kem?
Yes, please.
Hello, everyone.
Good. Okay.
All right, Josh, go ahead.
Hello, everyone. My name is Joshua. I'm a safety and security design engineer.
And you're joining from?
Lagos, Nigeria.
Okay, glad to have you. And Kem, let's have you now.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Doctor, good evening. I am Nkem Oladide, joining from Lagos. I am the current head of operations in Blended Technology Solutions. I'm actually on a transition process in my career into HR, so I'm closely following Doc everywhere on LinkedIn, on WhatsApp, everywhere. All right, so I'm here to have some personal experience on this whole transformation thing. I hope to have a great time here. Thank you so much.
Brilliant. Thank you. Thank you. Omolara, my president. Omolara, are you there? To introduce yourself.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Doctor. Thanks for having me here. I'm Omolara Kijogi, the Union President of the University of Abuja. I'm joining from Ogun State, Nigeria.
All right. I'm sure Toyo will love to connect with you after now. Toyo, that's one of your people.
Yeah. I was paying close attention.
All right, Dola, I know you are in a noisy area, but we still like to hear your voice.
Good evening, Dr. Oludayo. Good evening, everyone. My name is Ore. I'm joining from Lagos. I am an HR professional and a psychologist. I think that's all.
That's all. And today's your birthday as well.
My birthday. Yes, today's my birthday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
All right. Owolabi is here. Owolabi is the latest to join. Registered a second ago and joined already. Hello, Ife. Are you able to introduce yourself?
Yes, sir. Good evening, everyone. My name is Owolabi Fedapo, joining from Lagos, currently a self-employed web developer.
Great, self-employed web developer. Sure, DG has heard you. He'll engage you very shortly.
Yes, it's noted, sir.
Prince Uzoma, please go ahead and introduce yourself.
Okay, good evening, everyone. My name is Chukwuemeka Prince Uzoma. So it's actually Prince Uzoma, not Prince Uzoma, like it's not a title, kind of. It's actually Prince Uzoma. So I'm into HR and into tech also. So when it comes to designing, graphic design and the rest of it, I'm joining from Lagos. Just like somebody said before, the United States of Maryland, right? So that's where I'm joining from.
Yes, we Marylanders. Yes. Totally agree.
All right. Thank you, Prince. Temitope Samuelade, we like to hear your voice. I know you've been texting. You've been chatting us. Are you able to introduce yourself as well on the microphone? Are you able to? Okay, let's move on to Tolulope Impact. Tolu?
Good evening, sir. Good evening, everyone. My name is Tolulope Impact. I'm joining in from Ibadan, and I'm a business owner. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. Lady T.O., Madam O, Alakorede, please go ahead. Are you able to introduce yourself? Tony.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. I'm happy to be here. My name is Tony Olakorede. I'm an HR manager. And I'm currently in a transition phase because I'm trying to look at an aspect of HR to actually further in and hopefully settle down and
Trying to be a specialist. All right,
yes.
Great. Are you joining us from
Lagos, Nigeria? Yes.
Lagos, Nigeria. You have not traveled for the Easter holiday? Not yet.
No. We're still around. Thank you.
Thank you. My brother Toyo, it's your turn now.
Good evening. My name is Toyo Edward Arenho. I work with FUNAB. I'm a university administrator. I am also a safety professional by the side. I was telling Kim, even though she didn't hear me, that we need to know who is number 1 and number 2 in this queue that is following Dr. Olumuyiwa, because Kim said it's a queue. So we need to know our positions on this queue. And I'm currently in the middle of a transition too. I'm in the middle of transition to HR, so I'm happy to be here. I'm joining from Lagos. I'm currently in Lagos right now. Joining from Lagos.
Thank you, T. Thank you for joining. Dr. Vu, it's your turn to introduce yourself. Doc, are you there? Okay, perhaps you're still feeding the cows. Year one, it's your turn to introduce yourself so that we can move on straight into the presentation.
Hello.
Okay, you are here. You are not feeding the cows. Okay, let's hear you.
Hi, good evening. I'm Vanessa. I'm a vet doctor, and I'm supposed to be in Jos, but I'm actually joining from Abuja. Thank you.
Great. Nice. Thank you for joining. All right. Year one, you're the last on the call.
Okay. Good evening, Doc, and good evening, everyone. My name is Yilwon James. I'm a HR practitioner, and I'm joining from Plateau State, Nigeria. Thank you for having me, Doc. Looking forward to this.
Thank you very much. All right, Dolapo, you did not introduce yourself. You don't want them to know who is the co-host of this event. You sent an email. You sent emails to everyone, so let them hear you.
Thank you very much for this opportunity. Good evening, everybody. I'm Dolapo, HR human resource professional, and I'm joining from Lagos, Nigeria.
Thank you, Dolapo. Thank you for the support that you've rendered so far. All right, then, having taken the introductions, I'd like to go straight into it. Today, I'll try to share with us anchoring on change. I'll be trying to answer the question, what is change? Then we'll have this conversation. All right, Temitope, I called your name, but you did not respond. You did not unmute yourself. Would you like to unmute yourself now?
I'm so sorry, I didn't hear that when I'm actually in transit and my background noise is interrupting, although I have my AirPod on. I'll just introduce myself in the chat section so that I would not interrupt the meeting.
We can hear you without noise. We can hear you without noise. So go ahead. We can hear you without noise. Okay, she will introduce herself in the chat. All right. We'll catch up with you there. All right, so we will be looking at what has changed. I'll try to give you some perspectives of what changes. And then the levers of change. The critical part of this conversation today is in section 2, where I talk about the measures of change. And these are the ways where you can actually determine where change is happening in your life. I think I'm going to be mentioning about 50 or 60 measures of change. Nothing to worry about. They're just very simple things. And then the domains of change. And then what are the tools you require for transformation? We'll conclude and I'll give a few announcements as we close in the session. I'd like to please appeal to you all. Chances are that for those of us joining from Nigeria, the heat wave is hitting you hard. You might want to get yourself in a place where you are not distracted. For some of you also, it's already getting late here in Nigeria. There may not be light where you are. If you're able to sustain the power of your phone or your laptop throughout this conversation, it will be most appreciated. But if you lose out by any means, please reach out to us. We'll be able to share this recording with you afterward. So let's talk about the objective. What exactly do I want to achieve today? The focus for today's edition is simply about the targets of change. I want to help you identify targets. What are the things I should aim at if I want to see transformation in my life? What are the things I want to aim at if I want to see transformation happen in my life? One of the things I'm going to do today that I've not listed is I'm going to give a teaser. I'm going to give a teaser to the next personal transformation seminar. A teaser and what it's going to be focused on. And that's why Deji is joining from Maryland. He's going to be the facilitator for the next edition of the personal transformation seminar. We do this quarterly. This is the first for the year, happening in March. So hopefully between April, May, and June, the next one will come up, hopefully June. And then, but we'll give you a teaser as to what it's supposed to cover. For today, the focus is on the targets of change. Targets of change. More specifically, I want to help you identify, I want to help you achieve the following. Number one, I want to help you know exactly how things are changing for you. Some of us are changing, but we cannot really tell that we are changing. We can't even tell how the changes are coming to. The two objectives, I want to be able to support you to find the key factors for your transformation. What are the things that will cause you to transform? Then I hope I can help you to identify the complementary things that aid transformation. What are those things that can aid transformation? And then let's see if we can determine where your change must begin. By the time we identify the measures and the tools and the domains, you possibly will be able to identify and determine where your change must begin. And ultimately, I want to be able to help you set goals, actionable steps that you must take to experience something different. Having said that, let's start. What is change? What is change? Can anybody tell me what I see here? And I would like you to please participate. You have come for this event not to get distracted by the things around you there, but I need you to please be here with me. Be here with the rest of us. If you will cooperate with us by participating, responding to the questions, you possibly will gain more than you would gain if you're just listening in. If you are able to speak, please do. What exactly comes to mind when you see this image? Anything that comes to mind will be fine. Somebody said the screen is not big enough. Really? Is that true?
Well, can I speak?
I can see
So Alade says growth. Toya, it may be your screen, but the screen is big enough for us here. All right, Prince, go ahead, and then you want to come afterward.
All right. So actually I'm seeing two chicks here. One is looking at the other one because I think it just amazed how that the other one is looking like a peacock. It looks like a peacock and kind of peacock or a porcupine, something like what is this? So that's what I'm saying.
All right, thank you. You want, let's go ahead. Let's have you.
Yes, thank you, Doctor. And similarly to what the last speaker just said, we're looking at two chicks, one looking a bit more surprised and the other something like, well, you're supposed to be like me, but you're different. So what gives?
Exactly. You're supposed to be like me, but you're different. You are different.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Change means difference. So Alade, you said growth. You see growth. Change means difference. Change means difference. We're not the same. So when something has changed for you, your experiences don't remain the same. If you have truly gotten to the point of change, we're saying there must be some difference in your life. And I love this chick saying, come on, you have many things that look like me, but there's something still different about you. Sometimes, friends, people look at us and say, I can see that we are the same, but there is still a mark of difference. So there's something unique about you. Yeah, we may be scholars together, we may be colleagues at work together, we may be this and that together, but there's still something different about you. People say something has changed. You have been transformed or transfigured, as the case is. So tell me again, what do you see here? Anybody else?
The progression in changes.
Progression, the progression in the change. This is from what to what now? What is the progression here that you see?
From living to death.
From life to death. Amazing. So it's looking like this plant was, I mean, how do you know it's alive? It's green, but we don't even know which one is the live one. Which one is the live one? Which one is alive? The red or the green?
The green one is the live one.
Are you sure?
Yes, that is, yeah, the green one is the live one.
Some people will
The other
argue
one
with
is
you. Correct. Some people will argue with you that they're not correct. Tuoyo, let's have you.
You know, we have a different weather here. The leaves, that they change color does not mean that they are dead. It means they are blossoming or they are changing to the weather.
Wow. It doesn't mean they are dead. Okay. Thank you. Tuoyo, let's hear you.
Yeah, I think it's none is dead, none is, yeah. It just progressed because I'm seeing green, small, and it became bigger, finer, got a different color, and it just evolved. For me, I see a transformation. There was an evolution. I'm not seeing death or alive here. I'm just seeing an evolution.
So it's possible that this plant, they're the same anyway, it's the same species, right? It's possible that what you're seeing is that this plant has responded to external circumstances. And so it's taking a new form all of the time. So these are 6 different forms, right? 6 different forms. So what is change? Change means transformation. You are not going to be the same in the same form, in the same mold. So you were gentle before, but now you're fire. You were possibly generous before, but now you are a lot more conservative with the dispersion of your resources. You've transformed. That means you've changed. Your structure, the way you get things done is not the same way you get it done anymore. You have transformed. Your form is no longer the same. Okay, so what do you see here? All of you who have said growth all the while, I'm sure you can have your field day now. What do you see?
Growth.
Obviously, growth. There is something causing this seed to grow. And what you see here is purely change. the same seed, but because it's growing, has different manifestations. Like Deji said the other time, the key word here is blossoming. The plant here is blossoming, stuck in the ground, but as it connects and reaches toward the sun, it changes. And so it just suggests here that there are certain things you do to cause you to change. This same plant was in a seed form, but it transformed into a full plant as it went deeper into soil and stretched out to the sun. Changes came. And so for us, if we were going to change our form or experience something new or manifest a different thing, this picture suggests that there will be the need to put some effort in our lives. You are having to go deeper and stretching higher. What is this one? Many of us have seen this image before many times. This is career transition for Toyos and Kems of this world. This is you transforming, leaving the fishes in tech, leaving the fishes in academia and joining the fishes somewhere else. But there's something else apart from that. Can I hear you? Anybody?
A daring move, a bold move.
A daring move, yes. Still,
you're taking a risk.
Taking a risk?
You're starting out. Yeah.
I like that word, DG. You're starting.
No man's man. Yeah.
You're starting because where you are going, no one is there. There is no proof that there's life in that neck bowl. Change really means starting something new. Lorena, thank you. Lorena said you are moving out of your comfort zone in the chat. You're moving out of your comfort zone. You're there with everybody, but it looks like there's something more. You're reaching out for more. And that's what change is. Change is about transitioning, leaving where you are to where you have planned to be, to where you have either been pushed to be, or to where you are attracted to. Change is movement, is transition. So I say here, change is something new, something improved, or something recently introduced that can lead to repositioning, transformation, and transition. Change is something new, something improved, something recently introduced that can lead to repositioning, transformation, and transition. All right. So friends, I'd like you to pay attention to the things happening in your life, in your own life. As we go through this session, please pay attention to the fact that you must signpost your life as we go through this. Don't think about anybody else. For every new thought that I share, for everything that is a reminder that you know already, signpost your life and ask yourself, where's the change coming from? Now let's look at levers of change. Can any engineering person, I've heard somebody say he's a safety engineer and all that. Can anybody explain what this means to us? Can anybody explain what this means to us? For those who know, this is a test you. Is this physics or what is this? Anyway, let's hear you. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. It's your opportunity to shine.
Okay.
All right, Ife, let's go hear you. Ife, before Prince.
Yeah, so I feel we can relate this to Newton's third law of motion, which says for every action, there is always an equal and opposite reaction. And you can see that the effort this person is putting in on the other end is resulting in a reaction on the other side of the beam, which is lifting or raising the load on the beam.
Thank you, Mr. Science. Mr.
So,
HR.
please say more about equilibrium as you are talking about Newton's law of science. Let him talk more about equilibrium.
All right.
Well, it might not necessarily be equilibrium, because equilibrium is talking more of balancing input and output. So he might not necessarily balance this load. He can push that beam down, way down, and the load on the other side also go way up. But equilibrium is talking about giving, balancing what you have on the input part and output parts when it comes to reactant and product. So I don't think it's equilibrium.
Thank you, sir.
All right, so engineering stuff there. There's another doctor in the chat, Dr. Tiwalade Udu. She's saying the fulcrum is giving him a leverage. The fulcrum is giving him a leverage. So you've got the beam, but what you've had to do, and I like us to listen to this carefully, what this guy has got to do to impact on the load, he's got a beam. The fulcrum is there to support. But without effort, nothing can change. All right, so the beam is there, which is a critical component. And the fulcrum is what is giving that leverage. Because without the fulcrum, he cannot really lift the load. But his effort is also equally important. And yes, if I appreciate what you said, when you put in effort, which is like a cause, what we call law of cause and effect, when you put in some effort, you will get an outcome, an output. I often tell my friends, effort is meaningless when goals are not achieved. Effort is meaningless when goals are not achieved. So therefore, my friends, what are the levers of change? Number one lever of change is pain. Pain. You know, I mean, Engineer DG will tell you on this call, we normally will say this to ourselves way back in school then, that people change under two conditions, under heat, or what we call pressure.
Yes.
When they put you under pressure, you will change. So one lever of change is pain. Call it heat. And it's a push factor because you don't want to. It is, so the decisions you take, the actions you take by pain are actions that are involuntary. If you don't want that pain, you've just got to take some. And it changes you entirely. So for some of us, when you experience distress, is a trigger for change. When you experience something unpleasant, it's a trigger for change. When you experience something offensive, it's a trigger for change. And so I'd like you to begin to look at your life and ask yourself, the changes that I have seen in my life, how many of them came because I was either in a distress, I was in an unpleasant experience, a pleasant place, or I found something offensive and the things pushed me. So let's take a quick poll. If you're on this call today and you know you have made some changes in your life triggered by pain, displeasure, distress, unpleasantness, offenses, or offensive situations, can you please use the raise hand button? Let's find out if truly we are correct. Have you ever had some pain in your life that caused you to change? Thank you, Toyo. 1. You 1, 2. Digits clapping. 3. Josh is there. 4. Tokwe is there. 5. Anybody else? 5 hands. Thank you. Tiwalade has changed by pain. So, Dr. Tiwalade, I would like you to speak about your experience, if you can share. What was that thing that brought pain to you, and how did it influence the next change effort you made? It's the first time I'll be hearing your voice, doctor, since that PhD came on you. So bless us with that voice, if you can.
Okay. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, Doc.
Okay. Well, pain. I have so many experiences, but I think I would like to share as it relates to my PhD journey. At some point, I realized that okay, I wasn't making the kind of progress I needed to make to successfully complete it, and it was at some point it was like my studentship was going to be terminated. So, well, that was pain for me because I was thinking of all the facts of you have started this journey. So what's it going to look like if your studentship is terminated and all of that? So that forced me to take some measures. I had to take some drastic measures to ensure that okay, I was doing the things I needed to do. Maybe there were excuses that was, permitting and telling myself, oh, I couldn't do this because of this. And well, I also engaged spiritually, like, staying on God's neck, if I could put it that way, that you just have to help me. You just have to send me help somehow. And in the course of that, help came. And I also applied my own efforts. I laid aside my excuses and I got right to work. And to the glory of God, I was able to successfully complete my PhD.
Congratulations. PhD in what do you have, ma'am?
Computer engineering.
These are the future. This is the future. Are you applauding her? Please just applaud her. PhD, computer engineering.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Amazing. Now, I like what she said, and one of the words I did not use. The consequences of an action, the negative consequences of your action or inaction, negative consequences. So when you anticipate a negative consequence of your action, inaction, or reactions, it causes you to change. And so some of us have not really wanted to change, but when the issues of life came, we changed automatically. Thank you for those putting up their hands. Thank you very much. We'll move on to the next lever. Look at this next lever. I call it the necessity lever. The necessity lever. This is not pressure. This is the point where this is the only thing necessary for you to do. You find yourself at a point and you just want to take a decision. All right. So the necessity lever is the one that where you see that the next it's indispensable, it's indisputable. You've just got to do this. There is really no other thing to do. It's a necessity lever because it's a prerequisite to something else you want to experience. If you don't do this, you will not experience this. It's essential either to live in or essential that is something that validates the progress you're making in life. And this is not a push factor, it's a decisive factor. You get a signal that says it is time. What do? You move. Many of us have changed only because we saw the signal and we said, this is the right time to do this. This is the right time to do this. Because of time, I'll move to the third one, which I'm going to take a poll on the third one. Yeah, this is the third reason why many of us change. The third lever for change is pleasure. What I call pleasure or inspiration. For some of us, we see what is ahead. We see the joy ahead, and then we endure our cross. Today, we are talking about the death of Jesus Christ. The only reason he died today was because we are told that for the joy ahead, is that not it? They said for the joy ahead, he endured the cross. For the joy that is ahead, he endured the cross. So, for some of us, when we see what is ahead, when we see the fulfilling thing ahead of us, when we see the inspiring thing ahead of us, when we say the thing ahead of us is going to be satisfying, we release ourselves to be pulled by it. We are charmed by the future. So many of us have changed, not because we're under pressure, not because it was a necessity, but because it was attractive. That thing ahead of you, you wanted to experience, you said to yourself, if I don't become this person, I will not be able to experience that thing. If I don't become this, I will not be able to experience it. And then you change. So I'm going to ask here on the call, is anybody willing to share? What was that thing that caused you to change? What was that thing that caused you to change? What was that thing ahead of you, that future thing? Maybe you saw somebody who had gotten his PhD and that was what caused you to say you were going to change. Maybe you saw someone who had gone through a particular process and you felt, you know what, for this reason, for this person's sake, I want to do it. Maybe you saw the possibilities or the joy that this thing had, and that was what you were going to do. Deji, I want to hear you speak. Your mind was unmuted.
Oh yeah, well, I want maybe to change one word: adaptability. You know, you find yourself in a place where you can survive. The only way you can be successful is for you to change, and the only is to go. You know, and the other choice you have is to go forward. You can't just stay. You know, there's no opportunity for you to just be there. It's either you're going or you're leaving. So, like you said, it cost me and it cost me at the same time. So there was a causation there and there's a cost to it. So, of course, this is, to be specific, it's even in a work environment where you get to understand that, see, what you know is just a foundation to what you're supposed to know. If you cannot change, if you cannot learn, if you cannot be open to change, you're just not going to survive in that environment. So that's just the summary of it.
Oh, thank you. Is anybody else willing to share? What was that thing that caused you to change? What was that inspiring thing? What was that pull factor for you? You changed because there was a pull factor. Toyo, let's hear you. And Jennifer, I'm coming to you afterward.
Okay, for me, I think there is this prospective fulfillment I see up front. I work with the government sector, I work in a university, and I've been privileged to recommend some innovation to management. And when we want to actualize or implement these innovations, I get things like, see, if we put these innovations into action, that mama, that's this, that, who is not trained and does not want to be trained, and the university is not willing to train, will lose his or her job. So they say, this is a good idea, but we are not willing to put people around you, we are not willing to train them, and they're not willing to train themselves to improve. First time, second time, third time. So I realized I'm in the wrong space where they know this is right, but they don't have the willpower to make people around do the right thing and make the work easier. So I just tell myself, okay, it's time to move ahead to where we have people who have the same mind, who are willing to work, who are not afraid of change, who are willing to learn and unlearn things. And that's where I am now, where I know it's time to move and leave those who want to be lukewarm.
I like that. Thank you. Jennifer, let's hear you. What was that pull factor for you that caused you to change?
Okay, I think on a lighter note, I remember when I was dating my husband then, I knew he was football. And then because of him, I started learning how to watch and enjoy football. And then all of a sudden I had to take a team. He likes the Chelsea fan, and I became a Chelsea fan just to make the marriage a little bit spiced up. So there are certain things we change for. I've seen cases where a boyfriend could just say, no, I'm going to quit smoking just to make my girlfriend happy. So just for the future.
Nice.
Thank you.
I mean, amazing. Thank you for bringing that home. Thank you for bringing it home. Somebody has been blessed by that, right? Anybody else? One more. I can take one more. What was that pull factor for you that made you change? I didn't like football, but I realized that if I was going to make my home great, I had to like it because my man liked it. All right. Anybody else? Okay. So let's move on. This is the meat of this conversation today. My friends, perhaps you don't think anything has been an additional value so far. Maybe all I've done so far with you must have been just to remind you of how you got about the changes that you encountered in your life or the steps that you took in your life. I just helped you to identify the reasons you were able to do it. Today, I'm going to give you 10 measures of change. And the question that follows is this: how do I know I have changed? How do I know that something different has happened in my life? Or how do I know that something different is happening in my life? How do I know that I've changed? How do I know that I've transformed? How do I really know that something is, changing in my life? I'm going to give you 10 measures. And for each measure, I'll give you 5 components to consider. Let's start. My friends, if you are changing and if things have changed for you, check your thoughts. Check your thoughts. If your thoughts have changed, if your thoughts are changing, you will know. Now, the question is this: how would I know that my thoughts are changing? Number one, you begin to get new perspectives towards things. You are beginning to see things in a different light. My friend, the moment you begin to see things in a different light, you should tell yourself, aha, I am changing. By the time you begin to evolve and bring up problem-solving strategies, then you know you're changing. By the time you're beginning to get increasingly self-aware of your thoughts, your feelings and actions, then you know you're changing. By the time you begin to see that you are a lot more open-minded and your thinking is goal-oriented, then you're changing. Now, let me help you here so I don't just jump out of it. The question you want to ask yourself is this: if I am not gaining new perspectives, chances are that I'm not changing. If I am not coming up with new strategies to solve problems, chances are that I'm still static. If I'm not open-minded, I'm fixed in my way, I'm fixated in my way, chances are that I'm not changing. One way to know you're changing is to check your thoughts. For those of us who are leaders on this call, and for those of us who are parents on this call, or those of us who are team leads on this call, this becomes a critical factor also to check. Again, for those of us who are students of personal development, this is also something you must check. For the leaders, let me help you. How do you know that your team member is changed? Check his thoughts. Check his thoughts. Is he or she having new perspectives? Is that person a lot more open-minded? If you've sent someone on a training or you've exposed yourself to growth and personal development, if your thoughts, if your perspectives are not changing, you are not getting more strategies to solve problems, you are not goal-oriented in your thinking, perhaps nothing has really changed. For those of us that have changed, you can tell that it's from your thoughts. Check your thoughts and ask yourself, what new perspectives do I have? If there are no new perspectives, my brother and sister, nothing has happened. Let me give you another expression of this particular measure. If I asked you today, have you really changed? Have you improved? Remember, change is about new things, improve things. Have you improved from the person that you used to be to the person that you are now? If your answer is yes, I'll then say, let's check the 10 measures of change. I'll say, okay, let's check your thoughts. Have you improved in your thoughts? If you're not able to answer some of these things in the affirmative, then you need to do a lot more work on yourself. My friends, there is no transformation that does not begin with thinking. Every transformation begins with the thinking. And so, the foundational measure of change is to ask yourself, am I thinking different? If you're thinking differently, change has come to you. Number two, your actions. How do you know that you are changing? How do you know that you're transforming? How do you know that you have experienced the difference in your life? And how do you know if your children, your colleague, your partner is expressing something different? Check their actions. Have their thoughts changed? One. Two, have their actions changed? How would you know if somebody's actions have changed? Check their habits or routines. Has this person evolved new habits? Have they started to do new routines? Are they now proactive? And are they taking initiative? If you used to knock on the person's head or you used to remind them of the things that they should remind you of before, if the person is not proactive, he or she doesn't wait for you to remind, or he or she doesn't wait for you to make the first move, then they are changing. How do you know somebody is changing? Check their actions and confirm, are they having some increased consistency in the things that they are doing? Anyone that is not consistently doing certain things is possibly not changing. But when you reach a point where you are consistent in the way you deploy your energies, in the way you work, yes, change has come. Somebody has changed in his actions if his reactions are now different. And I'm hoping I can get somebody here to really tell us a story about how you know that you have changed. You used to be someone that when anybody said anything to you, you will respond, you give it to them, that's boost. Do you remember that thing? That's boost. But somehow, you realize that you're not reacting the way you used to react before. Is anybody willing to share their experience? So, let's hear you. So you are coming to.
Okay, mine is an interesting story. When I got into the university system, I was a pretty hard worker. So most of the active, hardworking bosses made me their friends. And we hung out a lot during the weekends. Let's go to Lagos to have fun. Let's go to Ibadan to have fun in my early years in university. But I realized that over the years, as I began to grow and define who I wanted to be personally, I gradually stopped being available to, let's go to Ibadan for this party, let's go to Lagos for this party, let's just go to Calabar and have fun. And they started saying, Otin proud, Otin Biraga, you're no longer available. So I saw that change. And it was because I needed more time to build myself. I needed more time to define where I wanted to go to. Those times I was at their beck and call, yes, I would go. I wasn't drinking, so I was safe to keep the money with. They would keep all the money with me because I wasn't going to drink. I wasn't going to do a lot of crazy things they were doing. So I just hang out with them, technically babysit them and the rest. But I realized I didn't want to do that for them. They were big boys in their own rights. They had all the money. I didn't want to do that. So gradually I changed. And a few of them understood. But some just felt this boy that we thought was loyal is no longer loyal because it's no longer available. So that was one change I saw in myself that made me realize, okay, I need to go somewhere else. I don't have to be where I am now. I have evolved over time.
Thank you, Toyo. Again, I'll help you all. As we have this conversation, I'll take you back and forth. I'll take you to things that we have talked about, and I'll bring you to where we are. Toyo, just before you speak, Toyo changed under three, it could have changed under three conditions. There's a negative consequence of this going, if I keep following these people, I will not have time to do these things. And so if I continue to do it, I would not entirely, I will not have my own experience. And so whether it was a push factor, a decisive factor, or a pull factor, one of those three things caused him to change his actions. And the way he changed his action was that he had now new routines, or he had a different reaction to an invitation. Are we seeing it? Many of us understand these things, but we don't know how to really measure. How do you say that your actions have changed? You should be able to identify with these 5 things. New routines. Are you now proactive? Are you a lot more consistent? Are you having a new reaction to things? So let's hear you.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Okay. So I have quite a number of examples, but I think I'll just stick with one. So it goes this way. I noticed that a lot of people do take advantage of, should I say, my niceness and going out of my way to be of assistance, both family, office, and in general, extended family. So I decided that I think I need to start limiting my availability for everyone, because I feel whereby family and friends, yes, they can count on you, but I felt that there need to be a boundary setting so that I too also will have more time to do things that will help develop myself, or at least build and improve on my own capabilities. So I think that's an area in which I changed. Of course, most of them didn't like it, talking about family. Notice that this girl doesn't go out of her way like before, doesn't do stuff. But I guess as time goes on, everyone will get used to it, and I will definitely benefit from cutting back on a lot of things. Thank you.
You got thumbs up from Nkem give you thumbs up there to say yes, that's my sister, that's my girl. All right. The fifth component of this measure is learning from mistakes. My friends, if you are changing, you are not likely to repeat the mistakes that you have made before. You will learn from them. You will learn from them, and then you proceed on to do many things in your life. Let's look at the third measure of change. I talked about thoughts, actions. The third is your belief system. If you are changing, if you are transforming, your belief systems will have been altered. Your belief system will have been altered. And how do you know that your belief system has been altered? You will find yourself challenging assumptions. You will find yourself saying things like, who said so? Why is it so? Why can it not be why can it not be somewhere else, something else? Many of us have not really changed in our belief system because we have not gotten to the point where we are challenging assumptions. Our openness to new information is not as exact. Our values are not shifting. Now, talking about values that are not shifting, I'm not saying that you should drop values and take on new ones. Here's my thoughts on that. We have what we call core values. We have what we call core values, right? Core values. Core values says these are central or the prioritized values. I have other values, but these ones are central. These ones are top priority. And so when we mean that you'll be shifting values, what I'm saying here is that over time, you realize that many things come to the fore for you. Well, maybe while you were raising your children, timeliness, neatness, some things were your core values. By the time you started to, by the time your children are now going to school or doing some other things, you're no longer babysitting them, your core values change. You are now more concerned about something else. Okay? You possibly were, a subordinate reporting to a supervisor. And what was core for you? What was important for you at that time must have been respect towards seniors or being congenial towards people. But by the time you became a boss, a superior, a team lead, now what's important for you now is empathy. Empathy or something else. You understand? So when you start to shift your values, then you can tell that your belief system is being adjusted. Another component of a changed belief system is increased empathy. See, when we talk about increased empathy, it means you acknowledge how other people feel. Many of us hold on to our belief system and do not give room to the other person to express himself at all. That's not the life that has changed. The life that has changed and the life that is changing is one that acknowledges other people's experiences. You don't discount it. And finally, how would you know that you're changing? You got greater confidence. You believe in the things, the principles, and the practices of the life that you're living. You are holding on strongly to your anchor, and those things are changing. So we've said again, how do you know you're changing? Check your thoughts, and then check those 5 elements. How do you know you're changing? How do you know you're changing? Check your actions and those 5 elements. How do you know you're changing? Check your beliefs. Check your beliefs and these 5 elements. Number 4, how do you know you're changing? Check your opinions. Check your opinions. Are you having more evidence-based views? How many evidence-based views are you now having? If you're not having enough evidence-based views, guess what's happening? You're not likely to be changing on that measure of opinion. How many evidence-based views are you having? You realize that you're having more evidence-based views. You're now dealing with facts. Your opinion is no longer based on sentiments. It's now purely based on facts. How do you know that you're changing in your opinions? You are now willing to change your mind. You say, okay, now I've seen more facts. There's a superior argument, superior information, I let go. You are able to have respectful disagreements. You hold on to your own, the other party holds on to their own, and you are not offended. You are able to focus on solutions and not problems. Many people are so opinionated that all they do is just to hold on to a particular line of thought, a particular line of argument, and they will not just see something different. Okay? And finally, how do you know that your opinions have been altered? You are going to be able to articulate your reasoning. This is where many of us have a problem. You cannot explain why you made up your mind on certain things. Why did you say X, Y, Z is equal to A, B, C? He said, I don't know. I just feel that's what it's supposed to be. I don't know. I just feel that's how it's supposed to be. No. If you have changed, if you're changing on the measure of opinion, you will have the ability to articulate your reasoning very clearly. Again, friends, how do you know you have changed? Check your thoughts. How do you know you're changing? Check your actions. Check your belief system. Check your opinions. And the next, check your visions. Check your vision. Check your vision. Check your vision. Here, by this, I mean check your aspirations. Check your pursuits in life. My friend, if you are changing, you will gain clarity over your pursuits. There will no longer be ambiguity for you. You may have started with a lot of ambiguous pursuits, unclear agenda. But the person who has changed has clarity. There's a lot of specificity in the pursuit. Number 2, how do you know you have changed? Check your vision and ask yourself, are my goals realistic? Are my goals realistic? If you have really changed on the measure of vision, you will be expressing greater passion and motivation. You will be expressing greater passion and motivation. You will have more flexibility. You'll be more flexible and adaptable. And Deji mentioned that earlier on. Change is really about adaptability. If you've really changed, you will not say this goal, oh, if I don't achieve this goal, that's the end. No. You realize that at certain times, you shift, you alter, you modify the goals. Friends, on this call, I can tell you, goals are expandable. Goals are expandable. Goals are expandable. Goals are expandable. An academic goal for you at a particular point in your life is not the same academic goal when you have reached that end. For example, your academic goal was to get admission to a university. The moment you get admission to that university, guess what changes? Your academic goal changes to, I want to pass my exams. Once you pass your exams and you graduate and then you come out with a bachelor's degree, for example, your academic goal changes and you say, now my new academic goal is to get a master's degree. You're still talking about academic goals, but guess what? The goalpost, the end of it keeps expanding, keeps expanding, keeps expanding. That's being flexible. How do you know you've changed? Check your vision, check your pursuits. And how will you know your visions and pursuits have really changed? Ask yourself, are you having positive impact? Are you making positive impact in the lives of people? Are you making positive impact in the lives of people? Are you touching lives? When you begin to count the number of people that you are impacting, the number of people who are changing because of your own efforts, then you can say you're changing. My friends, again, I take you back. How would you know you're changing? How would you know you're transforming? Number one, check your thoughts and ask yourself those 5 questions. Number 2, check your actions. Number 3, check your beliefs. Number 4, check your opinions. Number 5, check your vision. And number 6, check your experiences. Check your experiences. Do you see yourself seeking new challenges all together? You want to have new experiences. All of a sudden, you are tired of the old. You are reaching on for the new. You are now more inquisitive. You are now more curious. If you really change, my friend, I mean, you'll be looking for better experiences. You'll be looking to have greater exposure. I know a friend of mine, that she would always want to go for any conference that can expose her to best practices in her field. Even if it means going ahead to look for resources personally. She will always say, you know what? I just found a conference in Indonesia. It has to do with molecular biology. I'm going. And I'm asking her, who is going to fund it? She said, don't worry, I'll raise the finances. Again, she said, oh, Muyiwa, I found another conference that is holding in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I'm going. I found one in Dallas, Texas. And I'm like, this is not a lot of investments. Now, that person is changing. There's a burning passion to know more, to experience more. How do you know you're changing? Check your experience. And while you're checking your experience, ask yourself, are you acquiring skills that you can transfer to other areas of your life? Are you acquiring skills that you can begin to, show forth in other parts of your life? Are you seeing yourself being ready to learn and share? Are you seeing yourself being ready to learn and share? Are you having increased resilience? You suffer losses because of some experience, you're able to easily bounce back again. You're changing, my friend, if you can see openness to feedback. If you're ready, if you're always open to feedback. The man that is transforming is the one that is open to feedback. Someone once said, feedback is a gift. Feedback, he said, is a gift. Again, my friends, are you sure you're changing? Are you sure you're experiencing transformation in your life? If you are, tell me about your thoughts. Tell me about your actions. Tell me about your belief systems. Tell me about your opinions. Tell me about the changes you're seeing in your vision, your pursuits, and tell me about your experiences. Let me add 1 or 2 more measures of change. People. If you are changing, ask yourself, am I expanding my network? I've said to many people, I said, if it takes you too long to get what you want, your network is poor. If it takes you too long to get what you want and what you need in life, your network is poor. How dare you need ₦1 million and all the friends around you cannot help you raise it? How dare you need to move and transition in your job and it is taking you so long to get it? I mean, many of us don't really know what we have until we begin to ask those why we know. Many people suffer because they don't know what their network can offer. Many people suffer because they don't know what their network can offer. You are not making inquiries within your network. Many of us are keeping quiet a lot. How do you know you're changing? On the people quotient. You're expanding your network. You are meeting more people. You are knowing more people. You are interacting with more people. And ultimately, you see around yourself that you're having a stronger support system. Friends, I can tell you, personally in my life, this year, I have had greater support than I did have last year. Particularly professionally. I mean, I don't know if Ore is still on the call, the birthday girl. Ore will always disturb me. Ore will always be on my neck. Say, doctor, this is what we have to do next for the client. This is what we have to do next for the client. I'm like, okay, you know what? Just give me a breather. She's not giving me any breather. She's not giving me any breather. She's not giving me any breather. Great support. I had support last year, but I'm saying stronger support. How do you know you're changing? Check your check your relationships. Are you able to set boundaries? And thanks to Tony. Tony shared with us earlier on the call. She said she's now setting boundaries. Many of us have become so generous into poverty. And I'm not talking about finances alone. We have been so generous with our time. We have been so generous with our physical energy. We've been so generous with our resources to the point of poverty, to the point of lack. You give so much of your time, you don't have time to do the things that are important to you. You give so much of your energy. When it's time to do your own things, you start to sleep and snore and slumber. You give so much of your resources, and when it's time for you to pursue a particular project, you are begging, looking to take a loan. It's time to set boundaries. There's someone in my life. Every problem he has, he will text me that he needs money. Initially, I used to respond. But I realized at the point that, it looks like if this guy if he steps on a nail, I'm the one he will call. He just say, doctor, can you see he will send a picture. Doctor, see, I just stepped on a nail. I need to get to the hospital and I don't have money. If he goes to the hospital and he has fixed the leg and he's going home and say, hey, doctor, can you imagine they stole my wallet? I cannot enter Keke. And I'm like, hey, for goodness sake, what problem is? What's this problem? So I archived him on WhatsApp. I don't know how many of us know how to use archive feature on WhatsApp. Does anybody here know, who's on this call that does not know what archive means on WhatsApp? You don't know what archive means?
I don't know.
You don't know what archive means? Can somebody help me tell him? Gloria, can you help me tell Digi what archive means on? Okay, Kem, tell him.
The message will be dropping, but you can't see it.
Don't see
it. It's not possible, but it will just be dropping. It will deliver, but you will read it.
Is that no wickedness in high places?
No, it's for your mental health too.
Okay, now I know.
He's just hiding the messages now. It's not wickedness.
Now, we need to set boundaries. We need to set boundaries. And then if you know you have changed, on the people's side, you'll find out that you have an improved communication skill. Many of us have had failed relationships, not because we are wicked people, but you just didn't know how to speak. Failed relationships at work, failed relationships with your partner, with your spouse, with your boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever, with your superiors at work, with your parents. Some of us have had broken down relationships. But you need to start to change. How do you know you're changed? If your communication improves. And like I'll say to anyone, effective communication is when intended meaning equals perceived meaning. Effective communication is when intended meaning equals perceived meaning. Communication is not effective when what you intend to say is not what the other party perceives that you have said. Again, it's important to say to you here today, my friend, that it's not what you say that matters. It's what people hear. It is not what you say that matters. It's what people hear. If you have said to people, I'm not available, they may take it as arrogance. So be careful to ensure that your intention oftentimes is people's perception. How do you know that you are changing on the measure of people? You are having healthier conflict resolutions. I mean, there will always be frictions in this life. Many of us are given to avoiding conflict. There's no avoid conflict. There's no problem in conflict. There is no problem having conflict. But when you know you have grown, you have transformed, you're a different person entirely, guess what? Every conflict is resolved in a healthy manner because you are focusing on the person and not on the issues. You are focusing on the issues and not on the person. You are focusing on the issues and not on the person. That's how you know. I guess I'll give you one more measure of change. And this one is important, resources. I've said to you again, how do you know that you are changing? How do you know that you are changing in your life? Check your thoughts. Check your actions. Check your beliefs. Check your opinions. Check your vision. Check your experiences. Check your relationships. Now I'm asking you, check your resources. Many of us have no business being broke. Many of us have no business being broke. You're broke because you don't know how to manage the things in your hands. Many of us don't have any reason being broke. You're broke because you don't know how to earn resources, earn money. There are 4 considerations for money. 4 considerations for money. One is you must learn how to earn it. All wealth comes by income. All wealth comes by income. Number 2, it is multiplied, it is increased by savings. It is not everything you earn that you consume. Number 3, wealth is multiplied by investments. Look for other streams of income. And then ultimately, you control the flow of your resources. What are the 4 considerations for wealth building? All wealth comes by income, so earn some money, save the money, invest the money, and control its flow. How do you know that you are changing as it relates to your resources? Number 1, friend, you will never be stranded. You are resourceful. You look to your right, there is someone to call, or there is somewhere to go. You look to your left, you are not stranded. A person who has changed on the plane of resources is resourceful. Number 2, you will find out that you are able to manage your resources effectively. You're not getting to the point where you're under pressure unduly. How can your wife be pregnant in January and you know she'll be giving birth 9 months' time? You've been given 9 months' notice. How do you get to the 9th month and you're saying you don't know, you don't have resources to buy certain things? Oh, come on. If you used to be that disorganized, the only way to know that you have changed is that when such things happen, you're no longer worrying anymore. How can you say, for those of you who pay rent annually, how can you have 12 months to prepare for rent? And all of a sudden, it's a pressure moment for you. You know, if you're changing in that area, you realize that you're effectively managing your resources. You find out that you're investing in growth. You're investing in getting better, be a better person in managing your monies and your resources. And then you'll be ready to share your resources. The person who has changed or who has transformed in the management of resources is someone who can share it. Is ready to share it. I want to share one thought with you here. And if you have a pen where you are, please try to write this thing down. It's a formula that I believe if you come to our financial literacy class, when we do personal finance, we teach this particular formula. Prince Uzoma, you must have heard me share this formula before, 1 or 2 sessions with the guys in the People Plus. All right. Oh my, I see some of my friends have joined the call. Ayomide, welcome, thank you. My brother, Boyega, thank you so much for joining. Motunrayo, thank you also for joining. Lorena, thank you also for joining. I appreciate you, all of you who've joined in the course of the event. Now, in your notes, write this formula down, your personal finance formula. TIN. Let me see if I can. TIN, that is target income, equals CLS. TIN equals CLS plus FFG. TIN equals CLS plus FFG. I'm going to explain what it means. Many of us don't know what to earn, whether you're in business or you're in a career. What amount of money should be your target income? So TIN equals, means target income. TIN means target income. What exactly do you want to earn? Many of us don't know how to determine the monies that we want to earn. And I'm not saying that your job will give you your target income. Your job is not likely going to give you all the income that you want to acquire, all the income that you want to earn. Okay? Your job is just one stream of income, right? So, TIM is target income, but it is determined by CLS. CLS means your current lifestyle. The current lifestyle. Your current lifestyle. What does your current lifestyle mean? The current lifestyle simply means everything you spend money on today, all of your obligations and all of the ways that you live your life. All of your obligations and all of the ways that you live your life. That's CLS. Your current lifestyle, the kunu you drink, the school fees you pay, the rent you pay, the clothes you buy, your transport fare, that lifestyle of yours. Many people, yes, many people have stopped at TIN equals CLS. They only use CLS to determine how much money they want in life. And guess what? They have not made provision for improvements. And so you hear people say, with 250K, I'll be fine. With 250K per month, I'll be fine. And all that they have is that they can only live for the moment. I'm asking you to add another element to that formula. FFG. FFG simply means future financial goals. Future financial goals. And let me tell you how I will break future financial goals into two. Let me break future financial goals into two. One is ILS. ILS means improved lifestyle. Remember, you have got TIN equals CLS plus FFG. FFG is a combination of ILS, improved lifestyle, and the second leg of FFG is assets. Assets. So invariably, I'm saying you are having TIN equals CLS plus bracket open ILS plus A, which is assets. Did anybody get it? Can anybody help me type into the chat the formula? If you can. TIN, which is target income, is defined or determined by CLS, your current lifestyle, plus bracket open ILS, improved lifestyle, plus assets. If we were in our personal finance training, we'll break it down, talk about how do you introduce your your streams of income and all of that. Thank you very much. That's it. Thank you, Prince, for sharing. What is ILS? If you were living in a one-bedroom apartment, current lifestyle, and your rent is 500,000 naira per annum, make provision that you will have an improved lifestyle. You will live in 2-bedroom or 3-bedroom when you get married. Thank you, Vanessa. You will live in 3-bedroom when you get married. Thank you, everybody's sharing. Thank you, right? And you live in 3-bedroom, so you must make a provision for that part of your life. And when you make the provision, put a number to these things. CLS, put a number to it. What is CLS? Today, my current lifestyle is a 500,000 naira lifestyle in a year, or is a 5 million naira lifestyle in a year. Put a number to it. So if it's 5 million naira, okay, 5 million. My ILS, okay, my ILS, I'm going to be moving from Ekorokwe. I've been jumping bus. Now I'm going to be, buying my own car. You include it there. And then assets can be fixed assets. You want to buy a land. You want to buy a house. You want to do, fixed assets. There are things that you just want to add there as your assets. Add everything together. It becomes your target income. The next question you want to ask yourself is, what are the streams of this income? Now that you know what you should target as an income, you now start asking yourself, what are the streams of this income? If you're a business owner, business income, you now ask yourself, how many streams of income come from this business? How much can this business give me to meet this my target income? If you have a job, how much can this job give me to meet this my target income? My friend, This is how to see that you are changing it according to your resources. Many of us don't know what to chase because we don't know how to define our current lifestyles. We don't know how to define it. We don't know how to, call it, codify it, operationalize it. We don't know how to do it. And so we are stuck. For the sake of time, I move. And this is the final one. How do you know you are changing? How do you know you are changing? Number one, I said, check your thoughts. Check your thoughts. Number two, check your actions. Check your beliefs. Check your opinions. Check your visions. Check your experiences. Check your relationships. Check your resources. And finally, check your opportunities. Check the opportunity around you. My brother, my sister, if you are changing, you'll be recognizing new opportunities. New business opportunities, new job opportunities, new relationship opportunities, new opportunities everywhere. For all of us who have just become new friends today, the reason we are friends today is because we are recognizing new opportunities. It just suggests that we are changing. Something is changing, hence you are identifying new opportunities. Number two, you're able to take more calculated risks. At the beginning of this conversation, DJ was talking about change, about risk-taking. Yes, I agree. If you're changing and you check your opportunity quotient, you realize that you're taking more risks. You're becoming more adaptable to changing circumstances. The world that we live in today is a world of accelerated change, rapid change. If you're changing on the opportunity frequency, my friend, you will be seizing the moment. You will not let anything pass you by. You will not let anything pass you by. And I'm so glad for all of you who joined this call today. You could have been doing something else. And I know some of you are not alone where you are. You possibly have your partner with you, a friend with you listening in. And we're glad. We're glad that you all are together. I do not take this for granted at all. Having said that, as I try to wrap up this evening, where will these changes happen? What have we done today so far? We have defined what change is. Number two, we have looked at the levers of change. Number three, we have looked at the measures of change. 9 of them. Can anybody tell us what those 9 measures are? Critical points. Please mention one after the other. Anybody? How do you know you're changing? Where do I check if I'm changing? Number one, my what? Anybody?
Thoughts.
My thoughts, okay. My thoughts. My actions, okay. If I go ahead.
Relationships.
My relationships.
Vision, opinion.
My vision, okay.
Your
My beliefs.
Vision.
My resources, my vision, my opinion.
Experience.
My experiences. Amazing, we got it. My friends on this call, if you need to check if you are changing, go and check those things. If your thoughts are not changing, wahala, wow. If your actions are not changing and they are not changing across those components that I gave you, then there's no transformation happening in your life. If those things are being altered, then you're on the track. Then you're on the right track. Let's try to wrap this up. Domains of change. Domains of change means in what part of your life should you expect these things to change? You are a spirit. You have a soul and you live in the body. And so, my friends, your spiritual life is a domain of change. So those 9 measures that I've given you, those 9 measures, you ask yourself, how are my thoughts changing in my spiritual life? How are my actions changing in my spiritual life? How are my belief systems changing in my spiritual life? My opinions in my spiritual life, my visions, my experiences, my resources, my relationships, and the opportunities around me, how are they changing in my spiritual life? Your spiritual life is purely where you define purpose. It's a place where you get yourself connected to a higher self, or you get yourself connected to a higher being, in this sense, God. Your spiritual life is where you get the anchor for meaning and meaningfulness. Your spiritual life is the one that gives you practices and enables you to grow. When I talk about practices, prayer, Bible study, some of us do feet washing, some of us do anointing ourselves, you know. Those are practices. It is your spiritual life that enables you to define your values. So one anchor, one domain of change is your spiritual life. The second domain of change is your soul. Is your soul. And in your soul, my friends, there are 5 elements of your life. How am I changing? Check your emotions. Check your intellect. Check your social life. Check your financial life. And check your work life. The first thing we talked about was your spiritual life. Okay? Your spiritual life. The second domain is your soul expressed in these 5 areas of life. Your emotional life, check it out. Are you changing? How are you changing your emotional life? Check out those nine measures. Those 9 measures against your emotional life. Those 9 measures against your intellectual life. Those 9 measures against your social life, financial life, and work life. And answer critical questions, and you will know. The third domain of change is your physical life, your body. A few days ago, it was inter-house sports. Please, nobody should laugh at me or what I'm about to say. A few days ago, it was inter-house sports in my children's school. And they said it was time for parents to come and participate. Can anybody guess if I participated? Can anybody guess? Can anybody guess if I participated? Hey, Tokpo, you have so much faith in me. What am I going to do? Hey, run. Motsu, Dolakpo, because I did not run. I mean, when they said it was time for parents to do 100 meters, and daddies come out, mommies come out, I said to myself, Abba, Muiwa, if you are not confident to go out, you need to attend to your physical life. I know, told you, I did not even run at all, talk less of falling. But there was something I did, and I can tell you what I did. I can tell you what I did. They said we should come and push balloon up in the air and ensure that the balloon will not fall down. It was easy. So I was pushing balloon, pushing balloon, pushing balloon. The daddies who could dare to run 100-meter sprints. How can you be in inter-house sport with your children and you're encouraging them to succeed and they see their father going on the track and he's running and he's coming last? It's better to save yourself. I was pushing the balloon in the air. Is that not participation? I participated. For my brothers and sisters, I'm asking you, let's get physically fit. Some of us cannot do the things that we were doing while we were younger anymore. We've become so busy with work, busy with obligations, and now we can't run. We are so full of life. I mean, we are so thick. Things can't happen. You need your body to fulfill your vision on this earth. Your vision can only be fulfilled on this earth. And your body is all that you need to live on this earth. If you lose your body, there's no vision anymore. All your dreams are at the mercy of your vision. People are laughing at me. All your dreams are at the mercy of all your visions are at the mercy of your body. If you lose your body, you've lost it all. As I close, what are the tools for transformation? What are the things that you now need to use? I want to change. I know what changes. We have defined what changes. I know the levers of change, the things that can either push me to change or draw me to change or just instruct me to change. I've looked at the 9 dimensions or measures of change. I've looked at the 7 areas where I need to change, my 7 areas of my life. But what am I going to use? Education is one tool for change. My friend, I'm not asking for formal education. I'm saying to yourself, it's not education, it's not formal education I'm saying here. It's not just formal education I'm asking here. It's about learning. Keep learning. Add value to yourself. My friends, don't stop learning. I'll tell you something I do, and maybe this will be instructive for some parents. Don't worry, Ayomide, laugh at me very well. Carry your body. Big body here. Thank you. Now, let me guide some parents here. I do these things for my children. Anytime I'm going to drop my children in school, I always play a 7-minute or 8-minute video for them. They are not permitted to talk to me once we get into the car. The journey to their school is about 5 to 7 minutes. So I get a Jim Rohn video on YouTube or a Brian Tracy video or some kind video like that, right? And I begin to play it. If in 5 minutes they hear it and I tell them, listen, if in 5 minutes they hear it, if I imagine that I take them to school every day, let's even imagine I take them to school every day. 5 minutes, 5 days, 25 minutes, 1 week. In 4 weeks, they have done 60 minutes or more than that. Sorry, pardon me. 100 minutes. 100 minutes of listening, of listening, of listening. It will change. Education is about light. It changes people. Number 2 thing that causes you to change is your personality. My friend, being precedes doing. If you must experience something else, you must become someone else. If you must experience something else, you must become someone else. 3, the skills. Go and get skilled. Some of us need to get reskilled. Some of us need some upskilling. Some of us have some skills, but those skills are becoming very, talk about it. Some of those skills are becoming very stale, right? So you need to upskill. You need to upskill, okay? Some people need to reskill, get new skills. And number 4 is knowledge. Pursue knowledge. Read books. Listen to seminars. Join seminars like this one. And I'm glad that you all joined here today. Number 5 is experiences. See, one tool of transformation is experience. One tool of transformation is experience. My friends, get into new relationships. Attend events. Just go. You will get changed. Don't always have this familiarity principle that what exactly are they going to tell me that I don't know? You don't need to learn new things as it were. Sometimes you need to reinforce the things that you know. And finally, number 6 too is natural endowments. There are some things that you brought from heaven. Some people on this call, you never learned how to sew. I mean, you don't go to school to sew. You just find yourself cutting and sewing. And some people here, nobody really taught you how to make hair. How to make hair, but today, here you are. You are able to make hair for people. All right. Friends, having said that, I think we have come to the end of this presentation today. And here's my final word as I open up the floor for questions, answers, and comments. Until you take action, all knowledge remains impotent. Until you take action. What have we done today? We have defined change. What have we done today? We have identified the levers of change, the things that will trigger you to change, push factors, decisive factors, and pull factors. What have we done today? We have identified the measures of change, the things you need to look at to know that you're really changing. Your thoughts, your actions, your beliefs, your opinions, your visions, your experiences, your relationships, your resources, and opportunities. And then we moved on to check what are those domains of change? Where should I be looking for to changing? Where should I be looking for to changing? Your spiritual life, your financial life, your work life, your social life, your emotional life, your intellectual life, and then your physical life. Those 7 areas. And then we wrapped it up by saying, what are the tools you require to change? Education, your personality, skills, knowledge, experiences, and natural endowments. My friend, that's all we have done today. I don't know if I added value to you. I believe I spoke to myself a lot today because I got some refreshing. But I'm asking you, all of those things will not make any meaning in your life until you put them to work. Having said that, let me say a very big thank you to you. I will open up the floor for a few questions, comments, and then I'll take a few announcements and we'll call it a day. Thank you very much. The floor is now open for questions, comments. Thank you for clapping for me, Ayomide. Thank you. I appreciate. That was so kind of you. Thank you, Nkem. Thank you, Nkem. Thank you, Yuan. Thank you for those clapping for me. Thank you, DG. Thank you very much. Appreciate. I also have a team right here in the room with me. So my wife is here listening. My children are also here listening to me. So perhaps you've not seen them logged on. They are here as well.
Please say hi to Mama Photo.
He's saying hello to you as well. All right. Are there no questions? How to come? There are no questions, please. Great. Thank you, Tony. Thank you so much, Tony.
It was so impactful. Like people are digesting it.
Amazing. Okay, so let's move on. A few announcements. The first announcement is that this is the first time we're doing personal transformation seminars. This is the first time I'm doing it in a long time, right? So Joshua, if I will count all the seminars we're doing in Covenant, will I count them as personal transformation seminars? Is that what I call them? Josh. So let's say this is first personal transformation
I
seminar.
didn't get you. Come again.
This is first personal transformation seminar reloaded in Lagos, right? Okay, so it's the first time we're doing it.
Yes, sir.
It's going to be a quarterly thing. It's going to be a quarterly thing. So by the grace of God, come June, Pastor DJ, I'm not sure if you can show your face. If you can, I'd like the audience to be able to see you.
You want to see me? Hold on.
So DJ will be sharing in June 2024. June 20, that's DJ. Good to see you, sir. Thank you very much for joining.
Yeah, good to see you. Thank you.
So DJ is a Scrum Master, is a personal productivity expert and trainer, as a management consultant, and he uses a lot of frameworks to ensure increased personal and professional productivity. And so come June 2024, when we will have the second personal transformation seminars, we'll be talking productivity using frameworks. And DG will be our facilitator come June 2024. Thank you, sir, for accepting to facilitate for us.
Yes, we're going to be talking a lot about mindset, so get ready. Yep.
All right. Thank you, DG.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
We'll be talking about mindset, he said, come June 2024. Don't worry, it's still free. It's still free. These sessions are still free. We're not asking you to pay money yet. So let's take a few announcements. Nkem, you want to ask a question before we try to close? Go ahead, please.
Yes, please. All right. So I really want to thank you for this session, Doctor. It has really been.
I cannot really hear you.
Oh, okay. Is it better now?
If you're using an earpiece, maybe you're far away from the microphone.
Okay, I'm actually trying to charge and also I participate with the phone.
Okay, we can hear you better
is
now.
It better?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So I really want to thank you for this session, and then it's been very insightful. And for the additional tips on the financial, personal finance, like you said, I want to thank you for that. Is it supplement now or desserts that you gave us?
Yes,
okay. So concerning that future, the FFG, future financial goal, right? So you are investing, you are saving, and also you are planning to expand your future expense, because I really didn't get that completely, because I see it, I'm trying to balance it in my head, like, okay, I'm saving, I'm trying to invest, I'm trying to plan, and you are also saying that we should improve our lifestyle. If you are living, for example, the what you gave as an example, increase, maybe staying in a 2-bedroom, you want to marry, you are thinking of going to 3-bedroom, thereabout. It can also affect other lifestyle, whereby you are trying to improve on your maybe eating habits. Yeah. So I just want you to throw a little bit of light. Is kind of I don't know.
So let me
It
ask a
didn't
question.
sink
Let me
in.
ask a
Trying
question
to
on this
balance
call. Let me ask a
in my
question
head.
on this call. Let me
Yes.
ask an open question. And I'm asking because I don't want to take so much time again. How many people will be willing to join me to run a free session, 1 hour free session on that formula? If I find
On what,
sufficient
please?
number, raise their hand. We can fix a date almost immediately. That formula of target income equals CLS plus ILS plus FFG. If you're willing, we could do a 1 hour seminar on it. I'll take you on so that we can, break it down to the minutest detail.
I'm willing, no, because it got me curious.
I can
I'm
see
very
only 5
willing.
hands. We are 23 on the call, only 7 people. Toyo said himself and his wife. All right. Okay. I see many hands coming up. 11 already, 12. Okay. Oh, did you say plus his whole clan, not just his wife? All right. So what I'll do is, we've got your email addresses. Hopefully, I'll look at the calendar. It will not be it's not be later than, Dolapo, check our calendar very well. Can we do this next week? No, next week Friday is Holy Ghost service for those who go to Redeem. That's a huge church that you don't want to tamper with their members. Okay. I want us to agree on this call for as many people that want to join. It's Easter period, so Easter is gone. I mean, we're not doing this holiday. Maybe we can consider the evening of the 6th of April. April 6th, sometime at 8 p.m. Is it okay for us to do April 6th at 8 p.m.? For those that can join?
Yeah, that should work for me.
April 6th is a Saturday, 8 p.m. We'll just do 1 hour. All right, great. 8 p.m. Nigerian time, forgive me, West African time. So, but in Kem, just to answer you, the idea is this: TIN, which is target income, simply means what you want to earn and the vehicles that will enable you earn it. Your target income, the things you want, the amount of money you want to earn, and the vehicle that will enable you earn it. So, but the things that help you define how much you want to earn are those things on the right side of the formula: your current lifestyle, and then your current lifestyle, and then your improved lifestyle, and then your future finance, your assets. You want to acquire more things. So you want to buy a new car, you want to buy a land. Those are your goals, okay? Those goals, those aspirations of yours, the things that you want to do. So the other side, your target income is defined by your lifestyle and your financial goals, basically. Your target income is defined by your lifestyle and financial goals. Now, how to earn that income is where you are talking about savings, investment, business, getting a job, doing consultancies. And we'll talk about all of that on April 6th next week. I can tell you, my friends, how you can even triple, quadruple your earnings from today. Sometimes some of us just imagine that these things are a myth. I mean, 2018, I knew how much I was earning. Today, I mean, it's times 10 of it. Or times 10 of it. 2018 to now, it's different. and what changed. Maybe we'll share some of these things next week, Saturday at 6 p.m. All right, let's try to close. Quick announcements for you all. I'd like you to please, if you are not subscribed to my morning news on video on YouTube, please subscribe. I'm appealing to you to please subscribe. Here's the link on the call. Please subscribe. Follow us on our platforms. Today we posted videos, episode 735. Episode 735, we post these videos every day of the week. I'd like you to please take a note of this document on the screen. This document on the screen is called Scope, My Significant Circles of Professional Engagements. Joshua corrected me, 736 episodes as at today. We posted 736 episodes. Just a while ago, we did 700. I mean, if I was going to shock everybody here, we have recorded our videos up until July. So significant circles of professional engagement, this is a document that describes all I am for life, all I want to do for a living. I'm sharing it with you as an inspiration. So you want to take a picture of this screen and type that URL so you can download it there. Again, okay, thank you, Dolapo, for sharing. Again, Dolapo, you can also put the URL for the, Joshua Dolapo, you can put the URL for the resources, recommended resources. It's just the same URL. I normally have a philosophical guide for the year that guides me. Again, it's for you as inspiration. You can download, read it, and help you. I mean, use it to chart a course for yourself. Future events coming up. Future events coming up. Future events coming up. Future events coming up. I'm tempted to do an event on the 10th and 11th of April during the Muslim holiday, but it's going to be a physical event and it's going to be an open house event. It's not going to be conversations, just conversations. And it's about faith talk. We won't talk about purpose. And so I'll confer with my madam, my wife, which of the 2 days will be available. We'll host you in our house. Anyone on this call that's willing to come, join us April 10 or 11. We'll host you in our house here in Lagos, Nigeria. And let's have just conversations, open conversations. I would have loved to do it on the 22nd of April, which is my wife's birthday, but too many things are happening that time. So we'll use that April 10 and 11. And it's a Monday, by the way. So we'll use April 10 and 11 to do her birthday. We'll combine everything together. So April 10 and 11, you have an open invitation, 10 or 11. To our place, come and let's have some conversations. Let's talk physically. For our friends abroad, God help you. We'll see you later. And so this is another event coming up. We already have a number of registrations for public speaking masterclass. It's a paid event. It will not be more than 50,000 naira. It will not be more than 50,000 naira. You may want to just consider it. The registration is there. Some people have asked for one-on-one sessions. A number of people have asked for one-on-one sessions. Some others also have asked for group sessions. Some friends, a group of friends have come together to say, can you come and take us as a group? And so we're considering that as well. We're considering that as well. Okay. Come September 2024, we're going to be having the second edition of Becoming a Consultant to Kings. Becoming a Consultant to Kings is a program I host, and it's strictly about how to solve problems for people of influence. How to solve problems for people of influence. How do you solve problems for people of influence? That's what Becoming a Consultant to Kings is all about. It's a paid program. The registration will open in May 2024. And then this is the big one. We are doing personal transformation seminars, but we have a personal transformation academy. And come October to November 2024, we're going to be having our personal transformation workshops. Some of the things that we have shared here, we will be we will be practicalizing them, hands-on experiences. So there'll be questionnaires, there will be a lot of surveys, a lot of practice activities, just so that you can achieve certain things. We'll have a goal-setting mastermind. The idea of doing it October to November so that you can get ready for the new year by that time. So you can get ready for the new year by that time. So Personal Transformation Academy, October to November 2024. We're going to use only the weekends, Friday, Saturday, or Saturday, Sunday, 2 days in a weekend for those 2 months. We want to be able to equip people for the new year. And so that will be something that we're looking forward to. Registration opens in July of 2024. Having said that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Thank you for listening today. I really, really hope I've added value to you. I would not want to waste your time. I just hope that I added value to you. Please ensure you work with what you have heard today. Ensure you act upon it. You have no excuse not to produce better results. You have no excuse not to become a better person in your life. You have no excuse not to do phenomenal things in life. Having said that, merci beaucoup. Merci beaucoup. Thank you. All right, I've been reminded some people want to get certificates for this event. I'm told that some people want to get certificates. We don't have certificates for this event, but should you want to get a certificate for this event so that you can document it and use it subsequently, our company, our consulting company, Nathan Leadgate, will issue a certificate to you at a cost of 5,000, I am told. And so you can send an email. Dolako, please drop your email in the chat. For anyone who wants a certificate for this particular session issued by Nathan Leadgate, we have a license that allows us to issue certificates and it is recognized. Okay? So if you want a certificate, please, Dolako, drop your email in the chat, dolako@nathanleadgate.com. Please email her and let her know so that we can get your certificates to you as soon as possible. This is my Ebenezer. Thank you. Happy Easter holiday to everyone.
Thank you so much, Doctor. Happy Easter holiday to you and yours, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Doc.
Thank you so much, sir. My goodness. Wow.
Thank you very much, sir.
Exciting moment.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Doc.
Thank you. Thank you, Jay.
Thank you, Doc.
Thank you. Rabuega, thank you for coming. Jennifer, thank you. Joshua, thank you.
Doc.
Thank you.
Doctor.
Joshua, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
You're welcome, sir.